Hey there, everybody. This is Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV, and I am premiering or debuting a, new game that I've been learning on the side quietly, and it's called 4th Street Baseball. So some guys have, of course, asked me questions about it and reached out to me and asked me, if it's complicated. Now, let me be honest with you. I took my time with this game, and I did find it a little bit. I did find a little bit of a learning curve at the start, but after you play it every day for 15, 20 minutes, maybe half hour, I'll start a game, I'll play 3 innings. The next day I'll play another 3 innings, and then you kind of start getting it. So, again, this is the first time I'm doing 4th Street Baseball on my channel, and I will continue to play it. It seems like a real fun game, and it plays pretty quick. Let's start off, and let me explain a couple of things to you. You need 5 dice, and we're going to read the green and the white, they're D10s. Then we're going to look at the when we needed the D20, and of course we're going to add the 2 D6s. So let's start, and I'm going to look. This is not a game where you roll and you get a direct result. So let's watch how this works. All right, so it's a 13, right? A 1-3 is a 13. So we're facing now, you have to be always aware of the lefty-righty matchups. So for guys who live for splits, this is your game because this is all about lefty-righty matchups. All right. You also have fastballs and breaking balls, and we'll get to that. I'm going to do 3 innings. So it's a 13. So we're going to look at the matchup. It's righty Syndergaard versus Adam Eaton. This is game 2 of 2019 between the Mets and the Nationals. We are in Washington. And so it's going to be, we're going to look on Syndergaard's card, and we're going to a 13. Well, first base goes up to a 10, and everything between 10, well, between 11 and 19 is going to be the second baseman. The 13 falls within that. So it's going to be to the second baseman. Now, the second baseman is Robbie Cano, and Cano for the Mets, you got to look at his code, and there's a little chart here. He is a 4, and against a righty, it's an infield hit, so the ball is hit to an infielder, Robbie Cano, so that's a 16 for Eaton. Against a right-handed pitcher, it would be a little bit better if it was a lefty, but Syndergaard's a righty, so it's a 16 minus Cano, which is a 4, so that becomes a 12. So if we roll a 12 or under, we're going to read off of the batter card, so the batter gets the advantage. And let's look at the D20. It's a 5, so it is off the batter card. Then we're going to add the 2 and the 4. That becomes a 6. We move down to 6, and that's going to be a base hit, number 10. You're supposed to add the second baseman, which is a 4. Like first baseman is a 3, second baseman is a 4, third baseman is a 5, shortstop's a 6, and so on. Whenever you run into a 10, you got to add the infielder's position number. So if you add Cano, which is a 4, it becomes a 14, and it's a little ground ball past Cano into right center field. So Eaton is on at first. So we got one batter in, and here's Trey Turner. So we're going to roll our bunch of dice, and we're looking at the green. It's an 85. This is a little bit trickier here. So this is an 85, but against a righty this time. So you're looking at the right side of the match. That's where it says matchup. You're looking at 85, and that falls between the 47 and the 94. So that's going to be a pitcher matchup. Excuse me. So we are going to look at Turner's rating versus pitchers. It's a 14. Now we have to look at, he's a +2, right? Here, fastball, breaking ball, he's a +2. So he rolled a 9, and that's going to be a breaking ball. Now there's another chart to my right that you don't see that tells you that. It's usually pretty simple to memorize. If you're a +2, I think it's 2 to 7 off the top of my head. I don't have the chart up, but I remember pretty closely. It's 2 to 7 usually on a +2. He's a +2 fastball breaking ball. If it was a 6-6, it'd be a 0. If it's a 7 to 6 fastball breaking ball, it'd be a +1. All right. So in this case, it's a +2. It's going to be a breaking ball because it's 2 to 7 would be a fastball, and I think 11 and 12. But this is a 9, so it's going to be a breaking ball. So we're looking at a 6. So we take Trey Turner's 14 versus pitcher, and we subtract the 6, that's an 8. Then we look at the red. It's higher than, it's an 8, it's more than 8. So then that's going to be off the pitcher. So against a right-handed batter on a breaking ball, we look at the 2d6, that's a 9. We scroll down, that's strike 3, and he gets Trey Turner swinging. So Syndergaard gets him with the heat, and that's 1 out and 1 on. And here's Anthony Rendon. Now, he's a tough hitter. The matchup is on the right side of Syndergaard's column. We're going to roll again and see what happens. Who will win the matchup? Will it be the pitcher? And then what pitch will he pitch as well? Well, that's a 9. I can tell you automatically that's going to be a breaking ball. But we'll see. An 86, yep, it falls within the matchup range of pitcher-batter matchup. So it's going to be a breaking ball again versus a righty. Now, but we have to see who's going to win the matchup. He's an 18 minus 6 is a 12, and it's a 2. So Rendon is going to win this matchup. And we're going to read that 9, and that's going to be a 54. And a 54, when I look at the chart, it's going to be a slow ground ball to the second baseman. And that's going to allow Eaton to go to second base. And that's 2 outs, runner on second. So far, the score here in this game on a solo home run by Alonso is 1-0. Juan Soto in the bottom of the first with 2 outs and Eaton on at second base. So this time it's going to be a lefty, so we're looking at the left side of the matchup. That's the first thing you got to do is check that matchup. We got a 0-2. That's going to be a power. This goes really fast. The power matchup goes directly to the batter card under his power, right? And we just look at the 9. We go to 9, and that is a 48, which is a deep drive, and that's to right field, and back goes Conforto to the track, to the wall, looks up, and that's out of here. A 2-run shot, and the Nats take a 2-1 lead, and he drives in a 1, and he drives in himself the 4, so he's got 2 RBIs there, and the Nats lead it 2-1. So Juan Soto connects, sends a Syndergaard fastball into the seats in right center field. And here's Noah Syndergaard versus Ryan Zimmerman. He's a righty, so we're going to look on the right side. Again, we're going to roll. We're looking for the green and the white D10s. It's a 97. Oh, this is a fun one. All right, so versus a righty, a 97 is going to be a ballpark. This is where it gets exciting. Take a look at this. Every ballpark has its own sheet, so you're actually running this in the ballpark. And look how simple this is to play. Now, power numbers for Zimmerman he's a 0. Versus lefties is a little bit better, but he's a 0. So whatever we roll, and I'll show you how to do this. It's very, very simple to do. We're going to look at the 2D10s, and that's going to tell us in what section of the outfield, and then we're going to know how deep it is by the D20. So the higher the D20, the more chance there is of a home run. And I'm looking at a 17 right there. So we'll see what happens. But we're looking at an 84. An 84 brings us to the M section. You can't really see that. There it is. An 84 brings us to the M section. And it's a 17. And that's going to be a deep drive off the bat to the opposite field, off the bat of Zimmerman, and that ball is gone. As you can see, it went over the fence into 18. The fence is at 16. If it lands on 16, that means it hits off the wall. So this is a very cool game. I don't think you get this in any, and you really resolve it very, very easily and quickly. So that's a home run by Zimmerman. And he drives himself in. He is batter number 5. So Syndergaard gives up the home run ball right here, back-to-back jacks. And here's Kurt Suzuki. 3-1 now. And this is a 71 this time. Suzuki's a righty, so we're looking at a 71, and that falls within the batter versus, and this is going to be an 11, and that is pretty sure that is a fastball. Almost positive that's a fastball. Let me go to my other section. No, not there. Let me go in here. Let's see. No, I gotta go to this one. A plus. He's versus a righty. He's a +2, and that is 2-7, and then a 12. So that 11 is going to be a breaking ball. 6 So that could be a slider, anything, a cutter, anything like that. So a curveball, a changeup. All right, so it's going to be a 6, and it was hit to the pitcher against a righty pitcher. He's a 19, so that's 6. It's a 13, and we rolled a 1, so he wins it. So we're going to look at the 11, the 2d6, and we're going to a 54, and a 54 is going to be a slow ground ball from what I remember to the second baseman. That will retire the side. So that is one action-packed inning. The Nationals pick up 3 runs on 3 hits, including 2 home runs, one by Soto and one by Zimmerman. Soto's was a 2-run shot. And now we go to the top of the second with the Mets coming to bat. The Mets are going to bring up Wilson Ramos, Jeff McNeil, and Ahmed Rosario. And because this is I've gotten to 11 minutes, I think I'm going to leave it at that for right now. And I will be back with more. So keep an eye on my channel with more 4th Street Baseball.